Good evening, all of you. So, as I promised that to develop your VRC skills, I'll be coming up with a new kind of series of sessions in which with two things. One will be the vocabulary boost, okay, and then how-to sessions. So, vocabulary boost, today I'll be coming up with, today I'll be doing mythology-based words which have been taken from some previous year questions of CAT. Obviously, we can't discuss the entire dictionary, that is impossible for anyone. But we'll be discussing, like, let's say 15 to 20 words almost every alternate day. And apart from that, in the how-to sessions, it'll be how to read EON essays, how to read the editorials, how to read the articles, how to summarize something. All that stuff will be coming up. So every day I'll be coming live with any of these two sessions. All right. I'm planning it to be alternate. Mythology, vocabulary to be alternate days, today, then day after, and so on. So it will be like day one is vocabulary, day two will be how-to session. All right, is that clear? Ashish, yeah, go ahead. Okay, so I hope all of you are excited about this. This is something which you can learn if you go on read dictionary, but then dictionary you won't know what has to be read. Point number one. Point number two, that you won't be probably able to get the entire meaning of any word that will be there in the dictionary. So I'll also be telling you some trivia, some interesting stories about how these words came up and how these words are used, okay, in different situations. All right. Aditya, Sunday. Vaibhav, obviously. Okay. How to remember these new words? Because I'm taking sessions and I'll be discussing certain stories that will be very interesting. So automatically that will go inside your brain. But having said that, I will also suggest that you make a note of these words. All right. Anup, yeah, summarize. As I told you, how-to sessions will be there. Tomorrow I'll be doing how to write a summary. It'll be tomorrow. Okay, so let's go ahead. The first word is primitive deities. Some people say it deity. So it's deities, okay? Primitive. This word primitive means something that is old, in the olden times, ancient times, that is primitive. And deities are basically, so this is a religious word actually, all right? And religious words, often they have some kind of significance, some old significance, something which is religious, something that's theological. Now, when I tell this word, there will be multiple other words will be connected to this. Okay, so let's understand. Religion is something that all of you know. Theology. Theology is study of faith. Faith. Vishwas. Faith is Vishwas. So faith in what? In some kind of higher form, supernatural existence, the faith. And from faith, we developed religion. All right? Okay. Yeah, Akash, after doing the pages, let's go to the solutions. And then after 2 days, go back to the same pages which were done wrong by you. Okay? Well, Ipshita, that is why we are taking these sessions, to improve RC. Every day I'll be coming live, okay? So don't worry, let's understand this. Now, theology, study of faith. So there is a thing called, you must have, this word is something which, if you have not heard this word, I'm sure you must have heard the word called atheist. Haven't you? Who is an atheist? Who will tell me? Then you must have heard the word called theist. All right. Then there is a word called monotheist, pantheist. So, theism is basically faith. Atheism is a belief which says God doesn't exist. That is atheist. Anup, at the same time, yes. Okay, so atheist, तो सबने सुना होगा. इन हिंदी क्या बोलते हैं एथीस्ट को हम, जो भगवान पे विश्वास ही नहीं करता. Nastik, and theist is Astik. Okay, Astha. Faith in Hindi is called as Astha. Someone who has Astha is Astik in English. Theist, someone who doesn't have Astha, is Nastik. In English, we call it atheist. Monotheist. Now, mono, the root word, mono means singular. Anything that is single. Mono, ek, akela. Monotheist. So, any kind of religion or belief system which believes in only one God. That is monotheism. Monotheist. People who believe in only one God. They are monotheistic. For example, Islam. It's a monotheistic religion. Pantheist. When people believe in different forms of God. For example, Hinduism. Pantheistic religion. Is that clear? Okay? Cool. Now, there are certain other words which are derived from this. For example, a word called agnostic. Now, agnostic is someone who dwindles between theism and atheism. वो बोलता है कि यार भगवान है या नहीं मुझे पता ही नहीं है. How would I know? I haven't seen him, I haven't felt him, her or it, whatever. So the people who who do not have a proper belief system and who do not even reject the idea of faith or God, they are like we are not sure. They are skeptics. Those people are known as agnostic, and the belief system is known as agnosticism. Clear? Got that? Akash, yes, agnostic. Theist means someone who believes in God, who has faith, who has astha. Astha in Hindi. Astha channel sabne suna hoga, right? Okay, agnostic. Now, there is a new word which is called as agnostic. Now, this is something which will be very new to your vocabulary. Agnostic. It's not agnostic, it's agnostic. Agnostic is a belief system in which people feel that there is no definition or there are no words to describe what God is. And there is no need of doing it also. Getting it? That is agnostic. Is that clear? I believe this is the new word for you guys. Yes or no? Tell me. Like, we cannot describe God in any kind of words, any kind of expressions. At the very same time, there is even no need of describing God. That is agnostic. कितने लोगों को ये वर्ड पहले से मालूम था? चलो, तो ये इस वर्ड से हमें काफ़ी कुछ मिला. Now, deities, they're basically different forms of God. For example, this. So you must have heard, if you remember, fundamental history, class 8, 9, 10 में पढ़ा होगा about Indus Valley civilization, haven't you? So Indus Valley civilization, it came just before Vedic era, pre-Vedic era. Indus Valley civilization. So you must have heard about, there are some, in the excavation, they found a seal. Seal are these small engravements on stone where they found a deity called Pashupati. That's a deity. Clear? All were new. Well, is it, sir? Anyways, so now you know it. Pashupati was with that time, industrial civilization, animals were. So see, now thing is, when I'm telling you stories, so these words will be in your mind, okay, always. And anytime you can just watch this recording at 2x speed when you want to revise all the words. So, Pashupati, as the name suggests, Pashu is animal, majorly cattle. Cattle कौन से होते हैं? वो जानवर जो हम पालते हैं, गाय, भैंस, बकरी, भेड़, पति, उनका मालिक. Okay, so Pashupati was an ancient deity, and in Indus Valley civilization, humans actually domesticated animals, cows for milk and all that stuff, right? So the deity who was kind of a signal, a sign, not a signal, but a sign or an insignia of the belief system that there is someone who is guiding all the cattle, all the animal, is Pashupati. And it's also believed that Pashupati was one of the ancient forms of Lord Shiva. Clear? All of you got that? Let's go to next one. Before that, this is the exact meaning. Early or ancient gods or divine beings that are often linked to natural elements, basic human needs, or unexplained phenomena in early cultures. When they say natural elements, इसका क्या मतलब है? ऐसे भगवान जो नेचुरल एलिमेंट से लिंक होते थे. एनी एग्जाम्पल इज पवन देव. Okay, so Pavan is a natural element. Hawa, Vayu, air. Basic human needs. We also need air, isn't it? So god of air was there, god of sky, all those gods were there. So जो natural elements हैं, human needs हैं, उन्हीं से हमने देवताओं का या demigods का existence बनाया. Is that clear, all of you? An unexplained phenomena. ठीक है, all of us got that. Even in Nordic culture, Greek mythology and Roman mythology also, we had some kind of gods for different human needs and natural elements. Is that cool? Suryadev, Agnidev, etc. Very good. Perfect. Next, tombs. Some people call it tombs, and also pronunciation is very important. How to pronounce these words. Tombs. Tombs. For example, this. Tombs are graves or burial chambers, often elaborately built, used to house the dead, especially in ancient times. Tell me a very famous example of a tomb, which is in India. It's also considered to be the 8th wonder of world. Any guesses? I think you guessed it right. Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is basically a tomb of whom? Of Ashish, I don't have PDF notes. You can just watch the recording. Okay, so Taj Mahal was a burial tomb of whom? Mumtaz Mahal. Mumtaz Mahal. She was the wife of Shah Jahan. Clear? The 5th ruler in Mughal dynasty. Cool. Now, let's go to next ones. And also, the pyramids. You know what pyramids? There were also tombs. Okay, a very famous pharaoh was Tutankhamun. Very famous. So this guy was, buried in a pyramid. There are multiple pyramids like that in Egypt. Next is the undead. Look at this. Look at this guy. He's staring in my eyes, trying to scare me, but I'm not scared. What about you guys? 7th wonder, Anup? Okay. The undead. Supernatural beings that are deceased. Disease मतलब जो अब इनकी मृत्यु हो चुकी है, yet still exist in some forms, as zombies, vampires, or ghosts. So undead is an umbrella term. What's an umbrella term? Umbrella term मतलब एक बड़ा सा सेट जिसके अंदर बहुत सारे चीजें आ रही हैं. भूत, प्रेत, चुड़ैल, डायन, पिशाच, दैत्य, राक्षस. In Western culture, vampires who suck blood, zombies. Okay, so all these guys are known as the undead. Clear, all of you? डर मत जाना. Okay, सपने में तो नहीं आएगा. Okay, the undead. Next, folklore. Folklore. This comes from two words, folk and lore. Folk. When I say folk, hey folks, we use that, right? Generic term, Akash, yes. Hey folks, don't you see that? We say that a lot of times. Folk are majorly the common populace, aam janta. Janmanas, that is folk. Lore is a story. So folklore in normal Hindi, we call it as Lok Gatha. I hope a lot of you know Hindi, isn't it? Now the problem with 21st century humanity, majorly in India, is that we guys have forgotten Hindi and we were never able to learn English. Huh? इंग्लिश तो हम सीख नहीं पाए, हिंदी हम भूल गए, जीके तो कौन ही पढ़ेगा, हिस्ट्री तो गड़े मुर्दे उखाड़ने जैसा होता है, साइंस समझ नहीं आती है ना, और आपस में बात करने से क्या ही फ़ायदा है, इससे अच्छा रील्स देख लो, etc. So basically 21st century humanity is about to collapse. That's what I feel, because we are not going behind knowledge. Is that true? So I talk to people, and when I use those Hindi terms, proper Hindi terms, they don't know about it. But at the same time, they don't even know English. So what language are we speaking in these days? Lok gatha, pata hoga, suna hi hoga. Lok geet. Yes, Agash. Okay, so folklore, traditional beliefs, traditional. What is traditional? जो प्रचलन में है बहुत सालों से, रीति रिवाज, you know that? Traditional beliefs, customs and stories passed down through generations, often featuring mythical creatures, moral lessons or cultural values. An example of folklore in modern cinema is Tumbad. I think you have watched it, right? No, the spelling was Tumbad. Tumbad. What's that movie? दो M थे या दो B थे, I don't remember. Tumbad. That was a folklore. Isn't it? English. Yeah. The problem is, जो आता है टूटा फूटा मिला के बोल दो. So, Tumbad is a folklore. लोक गाथाएं. जैसे very famous लोक गाथा is of एक था राजा, एक थी रानी, दोनों मर गए, खत्म कहानी. Jokingly, people say that. So in folklores, they say that, okay, there was some kind of, in Western folklore, Spain, is very common. There is a person called boogeyman. Heard about him? In some cultures, it's also known as bogeyman. सुना है इसके बारे में? तो ये वो इंसान था जो आता था और बच्चों को अपने बैग में भर के ले जाता था. So in different cultures, in different civilizations, in different countries, this concept of boogeyman is there. In India, it's like Jholi wale Baba, something like that. Okay. WWE में भी होता था, हाँ. Stree is also a legend. Yes, exactly. Very good. I hope you're enjoying this. Next is supernatural. You know what supernatural? Anything which starts with super. So super can be used as a prefix. You know what a prefix is? Prefix, a word that comes before a word, and suffix is something that comes after. So anything when we use super, what happens? It goes beyond normalcy. So whatever is normal, it is more than that. For example, there is a man man. I'm a man, you are a man. The moment we put a super over there, it becomes Superman. Okay, understood? So these things are also very important. In some cases, you won't be knowing the meanings of the word, but at the very same time, you can directly, kind of break the words down and try to visualize or maybe interpret the meaning. Okay? Superman. कोई और बताओ मेरे को ऐसा ही. Supersonic. Varad, very good. Sonic, something that is related to sound. The moment we put super over there, supersonic. So a sound frequency which cannot be heard by human ears. Supersonic. Waves. Anything else? Super. We use super. Tell me. Let's see the 60 odd people watching it. Tell me in the comments. Super genius. Superstar. Yes, superstar. There's stars in films. Superstar. Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise. और कोई सुपर से? So the moment we have supernatural, something that is natural, just more than that is supernatural. Relating to phenomena beyond scientific explanation, often involving magic, ghosts or mystical forces. Supernatural elements. Supernatural करके एक movie भी थी ना? There's a movie. Super class, supervisor. There's a movie called Paranatural. Now when this word para is used somewhere, that means away from it. Natural se dur, natural se away. Paranatural. Okay. Super, para, thoda sa hi difference hai. And there is also a word called, when you use sir in front of something, S-U-R. For example, real, के आगे surreal, something that is more than real, something that is very, it looks more than real. You feel like, okay, this is something which we do not see in normal life, but this is a possibility. This can happen. That is surrealism. Clear? Super genius is wrong, है obviously. होता ही नहीं है super genius कुछ. Ashish, okay? Superhero is there. Shamans. Who are shamans? Who will tell me that? देखो मैंने फोटो बना रखी है. So this vocabulary session is it comprises of not just the words and meanings, also some stories, root words, how to break the words, and some visual illustrations so that you will never forget this. Yes, Varad. Shamans. क्या लगता है? In Hindi we call them what? तांत्रिक. अच्छा, कितने लोगों ने हिंदी लिखना भूल गए हैं? ऐसा कोई है? Spiritual healers or practitioners in indigenous cultures who are believed to connect with spirits, perform rituals, and provide guidance or healing. Indigenous. Now, what does it mean? Whenever we use this word indie anywhere, indie, this is an acronym or a short for independent. Independent, and also not just independent. It can also be used in places which are, related to ancient civilizations. Something that is uncouth, not very civilized. For example, the word Indian, it's a French word, Indian. What does Indian mean? Indian means someone who is barbaric, jungle ka wasi. उसे पता नहीं है civilization के बारे में. In French, Indian means something who is a jungly. Okay, Akash. ठीक है. Aghori is also kind of a shaman. So shamans are tantric, mantrik, ojha, bhoot jhanne wale, etc. But they are majorly found in indigenous cultures, not in normal cultures. In normal culture, we have exorcists. In Christianity, there's a thing called exorcists, which are majorly priests. Okay, so they perform exorcism. So shamans and exorcists are two different people. Exorcist, हालांकि दोनों काम ऑलमोस्ट सेम होता है, बट exorcists का काम सिर्फ एक ही है, किसी को पोजेशन से बाहर निकाल लेना, and they belong to normal civilization. Shamans, on the other hand, belong to indigenous cultures, close-knit societies. Cool. Achilles heel. Who will tell me this? This is a word which I got to know when I was in, I think, 4th or standard, because I was reading this story of Troy. याद है? Tantric Aghori are different. Aghori is a sect. Okay. हाँ, movie Exorcist 1980 में आई थी. Really great movie. Achilles heel, who will tell me that? So Achilles was an ancient hero. First of all, let's know what is Achilles. It's basically a phrase. So Achilles was an ancient hero from the war of Troy, Trojan War, जब ग्रीस और ट्रॉय के बीच में लड़ाई हुई थी. So Achilles was a person who was believed to be immortal, that he cannot be killed at all. All right, he could not be killed. That is what people believed in. Achilles cannot be killed. Now Achilles was a great warrior. He knew all the movements of sword and everything. He was a pro in swords, arrows, everything. The main thing that he was unbeatable was the movement of his heels. The way he moved around his toes, on his heels, that was something which was, people could not interpret his movement. People could not guess his movement. If you have watched the movie called Troy, have you watched it, Troy? So in Troy, the first scene where Achilles, played by Brad Pitt, he kills Boagrius, the giant. So what he does, the way he moves like this, tuck, tuck, tuck. He moves like this and then jumps and puts the sword in his spine. Do you remember that? You watched that movie called Troy? So somehow in the movie also it has been implicitly shown, directly दिखाया नहीं गया, but whenever he fights, he's like move like this. Even when he fights Hector, he moves like that. So he had got some really agile heels. तो एक्लिस हील जो था, हिंदी में बोलते हैं किसी इंसान का कमज़ोर हिस्सा. इसकी एक तो कमज़ोरी होगी. Haven't you seen that? बोलते ना कि इसकी एक तो कमज़ोरी होगी. इसकी कमज़ोरी इसका परिवार हो सकता है, इसका करियर हो सकता है, इसका पैसा हो सकता है, इसका ज्ञान हो सकता है. That is Achilles heel. It has become a kind of a metaphor for any kind of weakness. Now the problem is it was strength for Achilles, the movement, but the only way he could be killed was hurting his heel. His strength became his weakness. So in the end, when Prince Paris, he shoots Achilles with an arrow, and that arrow goes to his toe. His heel is ruptured, and as a result, he could not move that fast, and he got killed. So Achilles' heel is the weakest point of some person, weak spot or vulnerability despite overall strength. Got it? Anonymous, yes. Brad Pitt, I like Brad Pitt a lot. Be it his acting, the way he behaves, his persona, even in the real and real life, both. What's your name, Anonymous, by the way? रावण इन रामायण उनकी नाभि में था. उनकी नाभि, एग्जैक्टली, सृष्टि. उनकी रावण जी की नाभि में अगर तीर मार दो तो उनकी मृत्यु हो सकती थी. Well, next one, Pandora's box. Pandora's box. Now this Pandora, this word has been used in a movie called Avatar. In Hindi we called Avatar. Avatar, right? Pandora. So Pandora's box is basically a source of endless troubles or problems. But it's not just that. It can also be source of not just this. It can be endless stories or things that you have never seen. Okay, some unheard things. Pandora's box. So people say the Pandora's box is opened. The secrets are opened now. That is Pandora's box. So Pandora word has been used in the movie Avatar. It's a moon. Okay. Okay, Mayank. Right? Do you remember that? Pandora's box of secrets. All the secrets have been revealed. Pandora's box is open. सुना होगा ये? तो Pandora एक Avatar movie में एक दिखाया गया एक extraterrestrial एक land था. It was a satellite, a moon, not a planet, where those people lived. Okay. So why it was named Pandora? Why? Because it was unknown to humans, and that land contained minerals which humans wanted to excavate. Do you remember that? If you have watched Avatar, haven't you? सुना है ना, मतलब देखा है ना Avatar? तो ह्यूमंस आते हैं और वो चाहते हैं कि वहाँ के मिनरल्स हम ले लें ताकि हमें हमारे काम आ जाए. That is why it was named Pandora. It has got a metaphorical meaning. By director and writer James Cameron used this word for the same reason, Pandora. Also, Avatar was used. It's a Sanskrit word, Avatar. It was used if that's basically a representation of someone. For example, in Hinduism, we have heard this word many a times, Dashavataram. Like Lord Vishnu had 10 different avatars or incarnations, reincarnations. 10th avatar is yet to come, that is Kalki. Now that person, IIT Baba, claimed himself to be Kalki, and the only reason I hate him is this. Okay, so avatar, for example, Matsya avatar, Varaha avatar, Skanda avatar, Parshuram, Ram, Krishna. So you must have heard about that. And it's also, ये story काफी important है. It's also said that why James Cameron used blue color for those people, the avatars. Probably he was somehow influenced by the stories of reincarnations of Lord Vishnu. Blue, like Krishna was shown to be blue, Lord Ram was shown to be blue. Maybe that can be a reason. Anyways, let's go ahead. Herculean. Herculean, this word comes from, any guesses? Hercules. Yes, Varad, we did. Hercules. Hercules was again an ancient hero. And Hercules did things which were, of very high magnitude. It required a lot of strength and effort. So extremely difficult or requiring great strength that is a Herculean task. For example, getting 100th percentile in CAT is a Herculean task. Okay, solving all parajumbles right is a Herculean task. Yeah, so Hercules comes from that. By the way, for Hercules, I want to tell you a story. Athens, any idea? See, not just this, there are multiple other words which I'm telling you. Athens, capital of Greece. Capital of Greece. The first Olympic. अभी तो ओलंपिक गेम्स बाद में 20th सेंचुरी में हुए थे, एक बार 19th में भी हुए थे, but it is said the first Olympic was held before Christ and it was organized by Hercules. You know that? Olympic Games, Athens में. Any idea about this? Anyone? And the most famous fight of Hercules was with a person, a demon called Hydra. Hydra was similar to the animal Hydra that we know now. It had 10 hands or 10 heads, something like that. 10 heads, hands, 10 limbs, just like Hydra. So the war of Hydra and Hercules, very famous war in mythology. But it's also believed that first Olympic Games was organized by Hercules himself in Athens, that is the capital of Greece. Cool? Chalo. Let's go ahead. Odyssey. Odyssey is basically a long adventurous journey. That's what Odyssey means. But what is the root of this word? Any idea where from this word has come? आज हम ओडिसी बोल देते हैं कि इसको कोई भी एक लॉन्ग एडवेंचरस जर्नी है. यू गो समवेयर, लेट्स से you have you ever gone to Ladakh on a bike ride to Ladakh? Bharat, that's nicely said. So it can be an Odyssey. If you go there, it's a long journey, adventurous journey, and you get to know a lot of stories, you get to observe lots of things, cultures, mountains, landscapes. So an Odyssey is not just travel, keep on traveling without seeing anything. That won't be an Odyssey. Odyssey would be having some adventure, some kind of learning. That's Odyssey. This word comes from an epic written by Homer. देखो, ये भी ज़रूरी है. So Homer wrote 2 epics. One was called as Iliad, other was called as Odyssey. All right. Iliad talks about the Trojan War, जहाँ पे Achilles थे, King Agamemnon, all those people, Hector, Paris, Helen of Troy. तो ये Iliad talks about that war, and Odyssey talks about when the war was over, a very wise king called Odysseus. Odysseus was a wise king. When he traveled back to Greece, it took him around 20 years, if I'm not wrong, 20, 15 some years to come back to Greece. So this long travel was basically Odyssey. It comes from Odysseus the king. तो उन्होंने आके ये कहानी सुनाई कि हमने क्या देखा था. By the way, if you have, there's a set template of writing epics. In Mahabharata, the entire Mahabharata was told to Dhritarashtra from the eyes of Sanjay. Do you remember that? Similarly, the entire war of Troy has been told to the people by Odysseus. I don't know why it happens. It's a set standard to write something from the perspective of some speaker, maybe. All right. Akash, voyage is majorly on sea, ocean. Okay, that is the difference. Is that clear, everyone? By the way, there's good news of all the film lovers. A movie with the same name, Odyssey, is being made by the loved director Christopher Nolan. It will be releasing next year or maybe next to next year. Odyssey is being made. Because on Iliad, already a movie has been made that is called Troy, in which Brad Pitt, Eric Bana acted. And now Odyssey is being made. बताइए बात? ठीक है. Next. Midas touch. ये एक folklore है actually. Midas touch comes from folklore. Yeah, I know. Space Odyssey is also a movie. 2000 Space Odyssey by who was director? Stanley Kubrick, right? 2001 A Space Odyssey. Watch that. Brilliant cinema. Okay, so Midas touch. बचपन में एक कहानी मैंने सुनी थी या पढ़ी थी, I don't remember. आप सबने सुनी होगी. There was a king who was very greedy, okay, and he went and he then he met some forest nymphs. By the way, nymph is also a word which is not here in this in any of the slides. Nymphs, know about them? Celestial beings, magical beings, which live in the natural places. For example, there can be forest nymphs, there can be water nymphs, sky nymphs. पता है nymphs जैसा ही nymphs are basically Greek this Greek idea, but something similar to that in India it's apsaraएं. Okay, so this guy Midas went to nymphs, okay, and then he asked for, okay, I want I want a lot of gold. The nymphs became happy and they granted him a boon. Okay, you go and touch anything, it will turn into gold. Okay, ठीक है. तो उसने कहा ठीक है, मज़ा आ गया. तो अब वो जा रहा है. उसने he touched wheat, it turned into gold. He touched rice, turned into gold. So whatever he touched, it turned into gold. So to eat, he did not eat himself, so he will be not touching it, so he'll be eating it like that, maybe a spoon or whatever. So one day he was very happy with his son and he forgot that he has this magical power. He touched his son transformed into gold. And that was the failure of that king. So this story was told to young kids to let them know that greed is not a good thing. Greed can actually you got the idea, right? You got the idea? लालच बुरी बला है. तो Midas touch. Now Midas touch is used in a positive connotation. These days it's not negative. सब लोग ये बात ध्यान रखेंगे, भले कहानी नेगेटिव हो, but when we use this word, it's a positive connotation. Midas touch, the ability to turn everything one touches into success. So Midas touch is a good thing now. Is that clear, everyone? Do not use it negatively. Rick Riordan, yes, I know. So there are some people, for example, in the world of advertisements. There was a time when LML Vespa or some scooter was there, LML, so they manufactured a lot of scooters and they wanted to sell it, but it did not sell well for 2 years, and then they wanted someone who could sell it. Then they hired Shah Rukh Khan, and Shah Rukh Khan became the brand ambassador of LML at that time, and once he started endorsing, all these scooters were sold within a year or two. So it's said that Shah Rukh Khan has Midas touch in the world of advertisements. Getting it? Midas touch. Whatever someone does, everything becomes successful. Narcissism. मुक्ति साई वो भी करेंगे, ग्रामर भी करेंगे, स्टेप बाय स्टेप सब करेंगे, डोंट वरी. Narcissism. Okay, now I would like to tell you something. There is a thing called dark triad. I'll go to narcissism afterwards. Let's understand what is dark triad in psychology. So there are psychological aspects of people. There's a persona, the mask that we put in. Persona is the mask that we put on our face in normal public. है ना? कि जो हम असली हैं वो हम दिखाते नहीं ना, हम कुछ एक चीज़ दिखा रहे हैं. We're trying to be someone we are not. So a human has, all of you note this down, persona is the mask that we wear in front of other people. That is one aspect. Other aspect is anima. Then we have animus. Anima is the female side of a male. Animus is the male side of a female. So when you say female or male side is the metaphor for sensitivity. Okay? And male side is a synonym for strength, vitality. Persona is the mask. There's one more word which I forget if you get to know it. That is the animal side of a human. Animal side. The movie is also there, Animal. So you know that everybody has an ability to do anything. People, the same people who talk really soft, they can murder someone. Or the soldiers who fight in the war, they can kill people like that. But in the real world, they're just kind of very much soft-spoken and sophisticated. So the animal side, I don't remember the name. किसी को याद है बताना मेरे को. In fact, ये आपका homework भी हो गया. ठीक है? So these four are the aspects of people. And then there is one more aspect which is called as ego. First is id, then we have ego, then we have superego. These are the traits which make you do certain things. This is the different sides of a human. These are the traits which make you do certain things. We'll come to dark triad later on. मैं काफ़ी चीज़ बता रहा हूँ तुम लोगों को, नोट कर रहे हो आप लोग? So, id, ego, superego. To explain that, I'll tell you, let's say, in a simple example, मैं एक simple example बताने की कोशिश करता हूँ कि क्लास साइकोलॉजी की तो है नहीं, तो क्लास वर्ड सीखने की है. एक simple example दूँ मैं अगर आपको. When we do something without thinking of its after effects, we do it from id. When we do something and we know what will be the after effects can harm us, then it's ego. Superego is something which says we won't be doing this thing because it is immoral or unethical. समझ गए? तो अच्छाई, बुराई, धर्म, अधर्म, ये सारी चीज़ें इंसान के अंदर सुपर ईगो से आती हैं. लॉजिक ईगो से आता है. जिद, गुस्सा, उल्टे सीधे काम करना वो इड से आता है. Is that understood? All of you? One more example. Let's say there is a man who sees a woman. Okay? So normally all men want to, talk to women, and they are like, okay, people see a woman and they are like, okay, I'll just go, and hug her. बड़ा अजीब example है, but समझने के लिए काफ़ी आसान है. So, if a man just goes and hugs her without knowing, there is some movie in which one of the actors, he looks at a woman and without realizing anything, he just goes and kisses her in the market. That action is governed by id. Do you understand? The other man who will have the same feeling but would not do it, thinking probably this is, if I do it, I would be thrown inside a jail. There can be case on me. Probably I'll lose my credibility in the society. Okay, so that is that kind of behavior that is determined by ego. Superego will say, no, that's a woman. Okay, she has her own space. She is comfortable in her skin. I should not do it because that is wrong. That behavior comes from superego. Is that understood? Yes or no? Tell me in the comments. I'll wait for a few seconds. Srishti, persona is the mask that you put in front of other people. जो तुम अकेले में करती होगी वो सबके सामने नहीं कर सकती, है ना? किसी तरीके से हमें बात करना है, कैसे चलना है, कैसे कपड़े पहनने हैं, etc. That is persona. Got it, all of you? Id, ego, superego. The most simplest and the most basic example to make you understand this will be this example only. Tell me in the comments if you got that. Yes. Now coming to dark triad. आखिर dark triad क्या है? So there is a thing called dark triad. Triad is a group of three things. It's dark psychology. Okay. So there are three things. One is narcissism, जो हम डिस्कस करेंगे अभी. देखो, एक चीज़ समझाने के लिए कितनी चीज़ समझानी पड़ी मुझे. तुम्हें लगता है कि ऐसा करने से हमें बहुत सारा ज्ञान मिल जाएगा, बहुत सारे नए वर्ड सीखने को मिल जाएंगे, which will be important to us. Second is MACH, Machiavellism. I don't forget the spelling. Machiavellism. Just check the spelling once. And then we have one term called psychopathy. All right. These three words. How about that? Anyone? Yeah. This comes from Machiavelli, a philosopher. Machiavellism नहीं है. It's Machiavellianism, I think. Machiavellianism. Yes, Machiavellianism. Yes, this is right. Okay, so these three are in a dark triad. Narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. These three traits are, it's possible to have them, to the people. Akash, सही है लिखा मैंने अभी? Machiavellianism? It's correct? Yes, cool. And these days there is one more thing which is coming into picture, that is known as sadism. So now it's no more dark triad, it has become dark quad. चार तो 4 traits है, but शुरुआत में ये तीनों को माना जाता था. Narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy, and recently it's sadism. So because we all are adults, you know. No. Mayank, it's not from normal device. I have never read that book. There's a list that I have prepared, and not I have prepared. I told my content team to gather some words, and they built and they made this PPT. While discussing it, whatever is coming to my mind from the knowledge that I have, I'm just telling it to you. If I feel that is important for you, okay? Nothing is from any book. All right, चलो. अब समझते हैं इसका मतलब क्या है. So narcissism is something which we need to know अभी, है ना? So let's try to understand that. Narcissism is a word that is derived from a story, an old story of a man called Narcissus. Narcissus. इस पे बाद में आते हैं. Narcissus was a person. So he was a very handsome man. I would say, even I can use beautiful term for him. Very beautiful man. He was a hunter. So you know what? Wherever he went, all the women were attracted towards him, Narcissus. And he used that attraction to, you know, he misused that attraction. And he, you know, after involving women with himself, he quit them, you know, he left them. So he was doing this. Once, what happened? So he went to a forest. He was in a forest, and the forest nymph, the nymph of vengeance, जो ना बोलेगी बदला लूंगी मैं इससे. So that nymph कुछ श्राप दिया उसको, and Narcissus was looking at a pond. Okay, a pond, एक तालाब, और तालाब में उसने अपने आप को देखा, and he said, "Wow, I'm so beautiful." So he fell in love with himself, and as a result, he did not move away from the pond. And then he drowned inside the pond and he died. Okay? So Narcissus से ही ये word आया narcissism. Understood? All of you? Narcissism. Excessive self-love or vanity. ठीक है, मैं ये अच्छा कर सकता हूँ, मुझसे अच्छा कोई नहीं कर सकता. That is narcissism. Getting it? When people say I am my favorite, जैसे करीना कपूर said that in Jab We Met, that is not narcissistic. Narcissistic is a negative trait. When people are confident about themselves, that is not narcissism. Okay? Do not misinterpret it. There can be multiple people who are very confident. Narcissism जो होगा वो कैसा आदमी होगा कि वो खुद के लिए ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट होगा, लेकिन वो ये मानेगा कि मुझसे बेटर ये कोई कर ही नहीं सकता. In a way, narcissism, if I look at the, you know, root cause of it, it's not extreme self-love. It's actually extreme self-hatred. Do you know that? उसे पता है कि मैं सही नहीं हूं, इसलिए ही that person makes a persona. Now comes persona. Srishti was asking that persona. So persona जो बनाता है ना, वो अपना बाहर वो उस persona से प्यार करता है और वही persona सामने दिखाना चाहता है. Do you get that? Understood? Excessive self-love is the outcome, but the reality is it is excessive self-hatred. So he makes a persona कि मैं ऐसा होता और उसी को फिर वो सच मान के आगे काम करना शुरू कर देता है. That is narcissism. All right, got it everyone? Tell me in the comments yes. Machiavellianism is basically people who manipulate a lot. They manipulate. I won't name any people here, but maximum, lot of political leaders are like that. Manipulate people doing something. While Machiavellianists, these people are also very intelligent. They know if they manipulate someone, probably the other guy can also manipulate them and do some kind of harm. So they are very intelligent, and they, you know, in a way they do it in such a way that nobody gets to know. They're highly manipulative. They manipulate through different ways, like gaslighting is one of them. Gaslighting समझाऊंगा मैं आपको, but that will be psychology. So I'll explain these terms when I do the psychology-based vocabulary. It is mythology-based vocabulary. So things are interconnected. Psychopathy, I think all of you know that. Psychopaths. साइकोपैथ सोशियोपैथ में क्या डिफरेंस है, विल डिस्कस इन psychology based vocabulary session. Sadism is something new. You must have heard this term called BDSM. Okay, bondage, dominance, sadism, masochism. There's a movie called 50 Shades of Grey based on BDSM. So some people like that movie, some people like those visuals, some people don't like it. So when I watched it, I was like, no, I cannot watch it. It was very, I'm not saying that it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't really know. This is a trait in some people. So sadism is like when you enjoy hurting someone. So now sadism has also turned into sexual fantasies like BDSM, and some people can enjoy that, visualize that, watch that movie and feel happy, or maybe do this in real life. Some people do not like the idea of it. That means sadism is something which is not present in all the people. So we'll discuss that more in the psychology based session. Right now, you understand what is narcissism. Comes from Narcissus, a mythological figure. Clear? टाइटैनिक, वैसे जो यहाँ टाइटैनिक बना हुआ है ये ओनली फॉर इलस्ट्रेशन है, इसका मतलब नहीं है. टाइटैनिक जो जहाज था उसे क्यों टाइटैनिक, दिस कम्स फ्रॉम टाइटन. टाइटन वॉज एन एंशिएंट गॉड. टाइटन इज ऑल्सो द सैटेलाइट of Saturn. Saturn has got 21 satellites, I think, out of which one is Titan, which is the biggest satellite in the entire solar system. Huge. Something that is huge, powerful or colossal is on Titanic. For example, Titanic, the ship, which sunk. Clear? Back in 1914, if I'm not wrong. Sisyphean. See, there's a man trying to roll this huge stone against the gravity, which means he's doing a task that is endless and fruitless. करते ही जा रहा है, कभी खत्म ही नहीं होगा, कुछ फायदा भी नहीं होगा. That is Sisyphean task. Understood? This is a very important word, Sisyphean. All of you got that? Yes. Then comes Promethean. It is from again Greek figure called Prometheus, boldly creative or innovative. So Prometheus was very creative, innovative person, demigod. So and boldly creative means that he doesn't care about what people think. He will just go and create. Prometheus was a ship also, right? There's a movie. So boldly creative or innovative is Promethean. Medusa. Medusa is again a demigod in Greek culture. She had hairs like snake, like shown here. What does it mean? Medusa, a terrifying or threatening presence. There is Medusa. कुछ तो है जो हमें डरा रहा है. Shh, कोई है. All that stuff, right? Yes, Sisyphean. Great example. UPSC preparation pressurized by parents. Terrifying or threatening presence. किसी की हो तो बोलेंगे there is a presence of Medusa. See? सोचो ऐसी लड़की दिख जाए इसके जो सांप बाल है वो सांप के बने हुए हैं. I think you will be shocked till death, right? Medusa. Phoenix. This is a very, one of my favorite words. बचपन में वर्ड मालूम पड़ा पहली बार Phoenix, मैंने कहा यार Phoenix ही बनना है. Phoenix बनने का मजा ही अलग है. Phoenix एक वो चिड़िया थी ancient mythology में which reduced to ashes. वो जल बुन गई थी, खत्म हो गई, and then she rose again. You know that? अपने ashes से ही दोबारा खड़े हो गए. मतलब कौन से लोग जो गिर जाते हैं, बहुत नीचे गिरते हैं, फेल हो जाते हैं, then they stand up again. Those guys are phoenixes, symbol of rebirth, renewal after destruction. For example, जापान की जो cities थी हिरोशिमा नागासाकी, हिरोशिमा नागासाकी, these two cities were basically phoenixes, right? The entire people bombarded with atom bombs. There are two bombs. I think the name was Fat Man and Little Boy. दो bombs थे. If I'm not wrong, tell me. Am I right? Fat Man, Little Boy. ये atom bomb गिराए गए थे उन पे. And after the major destruction, Japan now, it is great in technology. I would say it's the best in technology. So that is like Phoenix. Shivam, not yet. I'll be doing it tomorrow. Okay, all of you got that? So I always felt that, okay, I'll be Phoenix. So even if, people fail me or I fail myself, I'll just rise again and again. So I'm not talking about just my story. That is a story which impressed me a lot, and I always felt like I'll like be a phoenix. I don't know whether I am or not, but all of you should be motivated with this story that even if everything and everyone fails you, you can rise up again. Can you? Yes or no? Tell me in the comments. You can. Icarus. Icarus. Someone who fails due to over ambition or over confidence. कि भाई okay, it's like एक मैं तुम्हें छोटी सी एक हंसी मजाक वाली कहानी सुनाता हूँ, स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी लगेगी तुम्हें। एक बार एक अंडा पेड़ से गिरा और नहीं टूटा। पता है क्यों? ये कहानी भले कॉमेडी है, स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी जैसी लगेगी, लेकिन इस कहानी में एक मोटिवेशन है। अब यू गाइस आर नॉट इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी, सो देयर इज अ लैग ऑफ कमेंट्स, कुछ लगते हैं शायद 50 सेकेंड कमेंट्स आने में, तो मैं बता देता हूँ। एक अंडा पेड़ से गिरा पर नहीं टूटा। क्यों? क्योंकि जाको राखे साइया मार सके ना कोई। ओके, सो गॉड हैज हेल्प्ड, द एग वॉज लकी। वही अंडा बॉयल अंडा नहीं था शिवम, वही अंडा नॉर्मल अंडा था। ओके, वही अंडा पेड़ से फिर से गिरा, वो फिर से नहीं टूटा। क्यों नहीं टूटा? क्योंकि अब उस अंडे ने, जब वो पिछली बार लकी था, अब उसमें कॉन्फिडेंस आ चुका है कि यार मैं नहीं टूटूंगा। ठीक है, कॉन्फिडेंस, क्योंकि पिछले कई बार उसे भगवान बचा चुका है। ही गॉट लकी, मे बी कॉन्फिडेंट था वो। वही अंडा तीसरी बार फिर से पेड़ से गिरा और टूट गया। द सेम एग, थर्ड टाइम इट ब्रोक। पता है क्यों? क्योंकि उसमें आ गया था ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस। ओके, समवन हु फेल्स ड्यू टू ओवर एम्बिशन, ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस इज इकारस। इज दैट क्लियर? ये कहानी भले सुनने में ह्यूमरस है, बट बहुत डीप कहानी है ये। Over confident people might fall because once they are overconfident, they won't be looking at what kind of repercussions can be there of their actions and what other people can do with them. Clear? मजा आया कहानी सुन के। ट्रोजन हॉर्स, अगर ट्रॉय मूवी देखी होगी तो ये हॉर्स को तुम्हें पता ही होगा। ट्रोजन हॉर्स, something that appears harmless but poses a hidden threat. So what happened? There was no way to breach the walls of Troy, the city. So Odysseus made a plan that let's give them a gift of a huge horse, wooden horse, and we'll fill that horse with some soldiers. In the night, when the soldiers will come out, they'll open the gates of the Trojan walls, and then all of us would go inside, and by that time we'll just be hiding. So Troy guys would think that okay, Greece has kind of doesn't want to continue the war, and this horse is a gift to them. And they also felt, what if they don't bring the horse inside? So Odysseus said, what if they bring? Let us try it out. So they left the horse with some soldiers inside. Achilles was also there inside this horse. And then these guys, hid somewhere on this beach. Trojan people, Trojan is from Troy. Trojan people, they brought this house inside. And when they were sleeping, the soldiers hiding inside, they went out, they came out, and then they, opened the gate, and the entire city of Troy was destroyed. So think about it. Troy was indestructible, but someone posing as a gift, a harmless gift, actually destroyed. This is very important, appears harmless, poses a hidden threat. In fact, there is a virus called Trojan horse, computer virus. Okay, which looks like okay, it's harmless, but it actually can do a lot. शिवम बहुत अच्छा समझा दिया, कॉन्फिडेंस एंड ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस। ऑर्फियन, मेलोडियस और एन्चैंटिंग इन साउंड, ये ऑर्फन नहीं है, ऑर्फियन है। ओके, देन Atlas, God Atlas, all of you must know about it. In Greek mythology, it's said that planet Earth is on the shoulders of Atlas god, and sometimes when he gets tired, so he just kind of moves his shoulders, and that is how earthquakes happen. That's a Western mythology. In Indian mythology, we say that the planet Earth is on the back of a huge turtle. right? That's a Lord Vishnu, his incarnation, his avatar. And when the turtle moves, earth suffers earthquake. So that is the belief. So Atlas is someone who bears a heavy burden. Heavy burden. Like in some cases in the families, I have seen some fathers, they are Atlases of the family. Isn't it? They bear huge burdens. Sometimes mothers as well. Getting it? All of you understood? तो देखो कहानी से ही ना, अगर तुम्हें कहानी पता है तो तुम्हें इस वर्ड का मतलब अपने आप मालूम पड़ जाएगा, right? Spartan, the movie 300, all of you must have watched it. Spartan, simple, disciplined and austere. Austere पता है क्या होता है? बहुत ही ज़्यादा डिसिप्लिन्ड हो, बहुत ही मतलब वो टस का मस ना हो, कुछ भी हो जाए, he will do what he wants to do. So person who is simple, disciplined and austere, Spartan, just like this Spartan army. Sparta, ठीक है? Nemesis, look at this. An agent of retribution or downfall. Retribution is like when there is a vengeance and it leads to total destruction. Nemesis, दुश्मन, बहुत कुछ ऐसा है ना. Nemesis, not just a single दुश्मन. Nemesis is basically a feeling, an idea. Okay. Elysium. Elysium, a place of perfect happiness or paradise. जिसे हम यूटोपियन वर्ल्ड भी कह सकते हैं. दैट इज एलिजियम. अगेन कम्स फ्रॉम माइथोलॉजिकल सिटी, जहाँ पे सब लोग खुश थे, वो स्वर्ग ही था. एलिजियम इज बेसिकली स्वर्ग. Chimera. Chimera is a word I first heard in the movie called Mission Impossible. Watched it? Mission Impossible Part 2. See how important it is to watch some movies. Chimera, an unrealistic or fanciful illusion. तो Chimera वहाँ पे एक वायरस था. उसका नाम Chimera क्यों रखा गया था? Because it was, it was kind of, people did not get to know what it actually is, because it was full of illusion. So anything which is unrealistic and fancy and it is full of illusion, that is Chimera. देखिए मूवी ये वाली. Cerberus, a fierce guardian or protector, often symbolic of guarding the underworld. तो क्या था कि Greek mythology में जो underworld is kind, something similar to Narc of Indian culture. So there was a god who was protected by this hound, this dog, who had 3 heads. उसका नाम था Cerberus. तो आज के टाइम पे कोई भी जो गार्डियन है जो बहुत ही फियर्स है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू जॉन विक जो था, we call it Cerberus only. Okay, so we use this term for anyone who is, or Batman, protector, but is very fierce and aggressive. Okay, so that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and tell me something. Should I continue this kind of series? Because this is not just simple word meanings which you can get from dictionary. It is full of different stories, trivia, also different connected words. Today I discussed close to 40 words in total, मतलब सब मिला जुला के, and that is a lot. And even if you just, sometime if you are feeling, just sitting idle, you can just watch this recording in 2x speed. And probably if you want to know about something, just put in the comments later on. Okay, जब खत्म होगा ये लाइव खत्म हो जाएगा, बाद में you want to know more, just put in the comments that I want to know about this. Maybe if you want to add something, so we'll do that. And I hope this is going to, kind of improve your vocabulary as your understanding, interpretation of different things altogether. So, bye-bye everyone. I'll see you tomorrow again. At 7 you have a class, I think. Okay? Chalo. Bye-bye everyone. Take care. Great film. Mayank, hegemony. Hegemony is a political term which says, when there is a political dominance, that is hegemony. Okay? Chalo. Take care everyone. Bye-bye. Those who joined late, you can just watch the recording. It will be there on YouTube always. Bye-bye.